Hello and welcome to Minecraft and History, a series where I build something in Minecraft while talking about history. Today's topic is Catherine of Aragon, or Catalina de Aragon, and I am making an Andalusian-inspired courtyard. Catherine of Aragon was born on December 16, 1485, as the fifth child of the Catholic monarchs Isabella and Ferdinand. The Reconquest, the centuries-long reclamation of Spain over the Arabs, was nearing an end, and Spain was united under the houses of Isabella and Ferdinand. In a common manner of the time, by the age of 3, through the Treaty of Medina del Campo, Catherine was determined to marry Arthur, heir apparent of England and son of Henry VII. Catherine's childhood was spent in Spain, preparing to be the next Queen of England. As the wedding drew near, there were worries over those, Edward, Earl of Warwick, who had stronger claims to the English throne than Henry VII. So Isabella and Ferdinand required his disposal before Catherine was officially to marry Arthur. At 15, Catherine made her way to England, and in 1501 she married Arthur. A mere months later, in spring of 1502, Arthur died, leaving Catherine a widower in a foreign country. Catherine spent the next 7 years in a limbo, unsure of what would come next. Ferdinand and Isabella suggested Catherine marry Henry once he came of age, and eventually new negotiations determined Catherine would marry Henry in 1504. This, however, did not occur. A series of deaths left Spain fracturing, and Catherine and Henry's marriage postponed. Throughout the next 4 years, Catherine spent some time getting accustomed to more political work. She became Spain's ambassador to England, a rather uncommon role for women of the time. She also became somewhat depressed. She was still rather unfamiliar with the language, and the weather was nothing like that of her native Spain. Finally, in 1509, after multiple delays, Catherine and Henry were finally wed. Catherine's marriage to Henry began rather amicably. The tragic death of their first child struck in 1510, however the couple carried on with affairs. Notably during this time, Cardinal Wolsey, not cardinal at the time, was making his way up in the ranks of Henry. Catherine was unimpressed by this, as it ousted her from her role as Henry's advisor, and it also did not bode well for Spain, as Wolsey was not a particular fan of Spain for a number of reasons. Catherine's main role in this marriage was to work in the favor of Spain, and prior to Wolsey, she had Henry essentially wrapped around her finger. With Wolsey's influence, however, England became closer with France, and their alliance with Spain became fraught. In 1516, Catherine gave birth to Mary, this being her only child to survive. There was a last attempt at producing a male heir in 1518, yet it was fraught. Throughout this time, Henry's attitudes began to change, and his ego began to grow. However, he did not reproach Catherine for her inability to produce a male heir, as frustrating as it was. By 1524, Catherine had given up trying for a male heir. He was also not satisfied by the now menopausal Catherine. Henry was not particularly illicit about his affairs, and they had been going on for the past 10 years. In politics, Wolsey was a bit of a pest, and Catherine struggled to communicate with Spain's ambassador secretly. In 1527, Catherine and Henry's marriage was nearing an end. Henry was questioning their marriage and had found himself a new, younger affair by the name of Anne Boleyn. By 1531, Henry had separated from Catherine, and in 1533 their marriage was officially annulled. This signified the Church of England split from the Catholic Church. Catherine sent Henry one last letter, lost in time and possibly not even real, prior to her death in 1536. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment what you'd like to see next.